Sonic
Lab TV.
Hi, I'm Rich at Studio Paranormal, and today we are reviewing this Arturia analog experience, the Player. This comes in two parts: the MIDI controller keyboard, which you've just seen there. This is our software, which essentially has the greatest hits of Arturia's virtual synths, 1,000 presets for 7 different analog synths, and on Mac you can use that in standalone VST, RTAS and AU formats, Windows, all of the above apart from AU. We've got a 25 key keyboard here, no aftertouch unfortunately, but very nice feel to the keyboard. We have on the top panel our pitch and modulation wheel, which they call the joystick. It's probably best to explain first actually that there is a shift function. So all of these controls do two things depending on whether you have that on or off. So this is either octave or scrolling through presets, levels or searching through different types of analog synths, filter effects or envelope settings, and here we have our snapshots, so basically you can save your favourite presets. Around the back we have our MIDI out, sustain pedal, USB, our power in, which we don't need to use because obviously we're on USB power, and just a power switch.
What does it feel like? Is it kind of chunky?
It's extremely heavy for a portable MIDI controller. Feels like maybe they've got some lead weights in there, but you know, it feels like it's constructed very well. So before we take a look at the software, it's probably worth mentioning that this isn't a dongle. You can use this keyboard for other VST instruments, and you can use different keyboards to power this software. So now we'll take a look at the software. We're just running this on Mac OS X, and you'll see here that it's a category-based system. Listed are the 7 instruments, analog synths that we're using, and then that's split up into different types of instrument like bass, lead, piano, etc. Let's just explain this category-based system a little bit more. If I wanted a Minimoog V sound, then I would just select Minimoog V, which you've already got selected here on the software, and then I can think about which types of sounds I want to use. So bass, for example, we get a list of all the Minimoog V bass sounds, and then I can expand that. Maybe I want a few string sounds, a few sequence sounds, and it just adds to the list. So let's get some sounds on the go. On the whole, it's pretty much what you'd expect from Arturia. There's some really cool sounds on here, also a bit of filler, but we're going to go through some of the different types of sounds now and just show you what they sound like. So let's start with some bass sounds. We've got some pretty cool pad sounds as well. Only drawback is obviously with a keyboard of this size, you're slightly limited as to what you can play. One thing I really like are some of the sequence sounds. And then we've got some weird stuff as well, which I can show you now. Okay, so there are some really cool sounds on here, very usable, can need to be very creative. The only issue that I have is that if you want a certain type of sound, the category system means that if you say you wanted a trance bass, you have to scroll through all the different types of bass sounds just to find one you're after. The upside of that is that once you find that sound, you can tweak it and save it as a favourite. So here I've got a pretty cool sequence bass sound. So what I do to save that as a favourite is just tick that box there, and then I can go up to my favourites list, and there it appears. So very easy to find, and you can also save presets on the front panel as well.
What's the CPU load like?
Well, you know, obviously it depends on which patches you're using, how many instances you're using. It's the same with all soft synths. We're using this at the moment in Pro Tools on a fairly old Mac. It's not got a lot of grunt. I've got 5 instances going. I'm using a range of monophonic, polyphonic sounds. The reason I really like this is because it's a good way into the Arturia stuff. There's 1,000 sounds, some of them are really inspiring, it's quite fun to play with, and it does invite creativity. What's more, you get this cool little keyboard with it, which I might not use here in the studio, but I could always use at home to do stuff there. So, you know, overall, if you're looking for a way into VSTs, into the Arturia stuff, then this is a good place to start.